Hey, how you doing, Robin? So today I choose a subject that has that is a rich source of material, so that I can continue on this for a few more videos, maybe even further. But also because I find it quite funny and interesting, and it's about language. I decided to make a recollection of the words and expressions that I used in a daily basis. But that I acquire through listening to them in not a common or academic environment, of course. So some of these expressions and words are from the street, from the neighborhood, from the hood. Some of them are old expressions, and they all together are part of what I like to call undocumented Spanish. I find it quite interesting and quite rich, and I hope you also get fun and learn some words that maybe you cannot use at all instances or with all people, especially if they are not from Mexico City. But if you learn them good and you use them in the right moment, at the right place, with the right people, they would be quite surprised that you actually know them and know how to use them. So let's get into it. Okay, so before I get into the actual words and expressions, I would like to make a quick remark or just to go over a few points that I consider are the reason why these words and expressions actually are able to be created in this cultural environment. The first and probably the most important is that all languages, not just Spanish, are dynamic and they change constantly because of the actual use. The second point is the omnipresence of in this particular case in Mexico, the playing with words, or I don't know if you refer to them word games, in which you actually can make, for example, puns, or you can make certain expressions using the words and make it kind of funny, or using certain characteristics of words like rhyming or the accent to actually create other words or expressions. The third point is, in this particular case, then again, I guess it's Latin American thing for what I can speak, is the sound of the words. This has a very big importance because we create words not only based on the use of them or just by playing, but based on the sound. So according to how the word sound, you can use that sound to create something new and to make a reference to that old word or old expression. Next, once you understand the patterns, it works a little bit like a combo. Like you start to connect different sounds and different ideas that seemingly have no sense or no connection between each other, but once you understand the pattern and you apply it to the other ideas, you can create a group of ideas with words that had nothing to do with them but have the same pattern. So if you know the pattern, you know how to cipher the words that seem to have no correlation. Finally, very, very important, especially in our language and in Spanish, is the use of metaphors and allegories. We like to go around the subject, around the words, maybe to be polite or try to avoid hurting people. Thanks to this, we have very, very interesting, funny, and wise phrases from what we call popular wisdom that give you a moral or a lesson. So these are the factors that contribute to the creation of this undocumented Spanish. So let's get into matter and let's explore some words and expressions that are part of this undocumented Spanish. In order to make an easier understanding of the words, I decided to classify them, catalog them, so I put them in groups based on the meaning or what's the use of the word. Okay, so we start with an opening conversations that basically is to ask someone what's going on, how are you doing, what's up. Okay, for this we have quite a few expressions. The first being que pachuca por Toluca. Now, to understand, I'll translate the word straight to English. You will see that makes no sense, and then right after that I'll explain you what it actually means. Pachuca and Toluca are cities in Mexico, so you're basically asking what Pachuca in Toluca, which doesn't sound very meaningful. It doesn't really make much sense. Here the key is the word Pachuca. Pachuca sounds very much like pasó. So when you ask que Pachuca por Toluca, you're actually asking que pasó. Then Toluca, it's just an addition, let's just say that. So the real question is what's up, what's going on. Okay, now the next word, or the next expression is que tranza. Tranza means something malicious or someone malicious. Tranza, it's also an action. So in this regard, when you use the word tranza, it can also be applied as like an action, like what's up, what's going on, que tranza. Now the next one is que trampa cazador. This one is quite funny and interesting. Trampa is trap, cazador is hunter. So it's basically you're asking what trap hunter, which doesn't really make much sense. But then again, the sound. Trampa sounds similar to tranza, and as we learned before, tranza is an action, so it's the equivalent of asking what's up. The next one is que transita por tus venas. Que transita por tus venas would make sense on its own, because it's basically what's going through your veins. Well, the answer will be blood, of course. But then again, transita sounds similar to tranza, which translate as an action. And also transitar is like something that it's going through. So the meaning again is what's up. The next one is a very commonly used in Mexico, at least. It's que pedo. Pedo literally means flatulence. Que pedo always means in this use what's up, what's going on. Que pedo. To this you can use different ways to express it, because a flatulence has different synonyms or words that are meaning the same. Que gas means gas, like flatulence. Or you can invert the syllabs of pedo, and instead of pedo you can say dope. So que dope, you know that dope is pedo, and then you understand what's up, what's going on. And another one that it's quite funny, it's que purrún. Purrún, it's a cacophony, because not all the time, but sometimes gases make a noise, and one of the ways to express the sound of the gas is so if you write that, it will actually be purrún. So que purrún means que pedo, means what's up. All right, so let's go over the words quickly. Remember, this is to ask what's up, what's going on. Okay, like to start a conversation. The first one is que pachuca por Toluca. Second one, que tranza. The next, que transita por tus venas. The next, que trampa cazador. The next, que pedo. Then que dope, que gas, y que purrún. All these to ask the same question, which is what's up, what's going on. All right, so the next category is expressions or words that we use to say how are we doing or how do we feel. The first word is actually a word that is used extensively. The word is chido. Chido basically means good, really good, great, wonderful. Now, as a different version of this word chido is the word chicles. Chicles is chewing gum, which basically has no connection meaning-wise. However, chi and chi, chido, chicles, made the link. If you got asked about a situation like ¿Cómo te fue? ¿Cómo estuvo el concierto? How was the concert? How is it going? You can reply chido. That means good, all good, great. The next word is erizo. Erizo literally means hedgehog. That's why in this undocumented Spanish, erizo means not so good. Things are not going as intended, not great. For example, you can explain when it comes to money, like if somebody asks you how are your finances going and you reply, está erizo, or how work is going, está erizo. Erizo also means the lack of. Like if they ask you about your job and you say erizo, it means that there's not much work going on. Now, diverted from erizo, there's the word herido. Herido means hurt. It's erizo, that it's the lack of it, that there was not much going on, therefore it's not going good. Erizo, herido. In terms of economy, there's a very common expression which is bruja. So usually when you reply I am bruja or estoy bruja, that means that you are basically broke, that there's not enough, if not at all, money in your pocket. Next one, it also refers to the same meaning, which is lack of money, is roto. Roto means broke. So this one has a very direct connection in English. Like, now, torcido means crooked, not going good, that it's actually bad. On the contrary, if things are going good, you can reply estoy Agustín, or how's things going in the visit of your in-laws. Estoy Agustín. Agustín is a name, but it does not will refer to the name. Agustín in this particular instance is a very similar sound as to say agusto. Agusto means comfortable, pleased. So agusto sounds like Agustín, therefore when you reply Agustín, you are kind of saying agusto, which is pleased, good, comfortable. Now, if you want to reply that things are going more or less okay, not so good but not so bad, you can reply dos trenzas. In Spanish sounds like dos, tres, the numbers. So when you say dos, tres, actually you can use that expression as well. ¿Cómo estás? Dos, tres. That means not two, not three. It's like not bad, not good. But in this case, the sound dos trenzas sounds like dos, tres. Therefore, it means not so. Okay, not good, but not bad. You, on the contrary, would like to reply that everything is going good, great, like chido. There's different ways to say that. So the positive reply to how do you do, how are you doing, would be a todo tren. In Spanish, a todo tren, it's coming from the word or the other expression called a todo dar. And this means good, all good. A todo dar, a todo tren. Now, another one that it's very common, and this one is, its origin comes from a very deep-rooted used word in our language, which is mother. When you are doing really good, you can reply estoy a toda madre, which then again literally means full mother, which doesn't make much sense. But in Spanish, to say that you are full mother, since mother is the most sacred thing, to being full mother is like, oh, I'm completely enlightened to the level of a god, or a mother, which is like God. Now, in order to not say the expression with the mother, which can be understood as a harsh language, a way around it is to say a todas margaritas. Margaritas is marigolds, the flowers. So you say a todas margaritas because margarita sounds like mother. Now, if you would like to make that short, you just say a todas margaras, like margarita. A todas margaras is like to say a todas margaritas, which is like to say a toda madre, which means really, really good. And one of my favorites to say that you are actually happy is the expression Felipe y con tenis. Felipe y con tenis can be translated as Felipe is the name. It's like Felipe with tennis shoes, tennis. But the actual translation is because of the sound of the name Felipe and the word tenis. Felipe sounds like feliz, feliz meaning happy, and con tenis sounds like contento. Contento is happy, is joyful. So Felipe y con tenis is like saying feliz y contento, which means happy and joyful. All right, let's make a quick review of the words to answer the question, how are you doing? Let's go with the ones that are when you are doing good. The most common one is chido, which means good, great. We have chicles because it sounds like chido, it means the same. We have a todo dar, which is really good. It comes from to give it all, like I'm so good that I can give it, because I have more than I need, I can give it all. A todo tren, that it's similar to a todo dar. We have Felipe y con tenis, which means happy. Felipe sounds like feliz, y con tenis sounds like contento. Felipe sounds like feliz, which is happy, and con tenis sounds like contento, which is also happy, glad. We have a todas margaritas, which comes from a toda madre, which means great. It's the soft version. And then we have a todas margaras, which is the short for a todas margaritas. Now, when you are not doing so good, then you can use the expression erizo. You can use the expression herido, which sounds like erizo, which means not really good. If you have a lack of money, for example, you say you are bruja, or you say that you are roto, or you can also say when things are not going good, torcido. Now, to say that you are more or less, not so bad, not so good, you say dos trenzas. And finally, to say that you are okay, you can say that you are Agustin. All right, now let's go to another category. This one would be how to answer questions that are basically yes or no questions. In this undocumented Spanish, there's actually a lot of words for that. So the first word, and also a very used one, is cámara. Cámara is a camera, like a photograph camera, but it can also be the rubber tube of a tire. Cámara in this instance means okay, yes, agree. Now, the second word uses camarón because camarón sounds like cámara. What is camarón? Camarón is actually a shrimp. So you can say camarón, cámara, which means agree, yes, cool. Now, if you want, now the next one is sobres. Sobres comes from actually the preposition above. So when you reply sobres, this is meaning agree, okay, and it comes from like above, because you will get above the subject. You will attack the subject, whatever that was in the conversation and you got asked about. You say, yeah, I'm on it. Now, a way to say yes in Spanish is sí, and then from there you can create many ways to say yes, because sí, it's monosyllabic and there's a lot of words that start with that syllable, sí. So for example, you can say Simón, you can say cincho, you can say cilantro, you can say many, sillón, and those, because it starts with the syllable sí, then it's connected to the word sí, which means yes. If you want to then again make it more rich and with more color, you can add more words. For example, Simona la cacariza y Chucha la panda, which means Simona, which is a name, la cacariza is the leopard, Simona la cacariza is pretty much Simona the leopard, and Chucha, that's another name, la panda, that panda means crooked, and it all this long sentence means just yes. Simona la Mona, then again, like with the name Simon, Simona la Mona is Simona the monkey, but Simona it's C. So you can add to Simona, to Simon, all that you want, and it will be understood as a yes. Now, another way to agree on something, it's to say por su pollo, by its chicken, which doesn't make much sense, but por su pollo sounds like por supuesto. Of course, por su pollo. That means of course. Now, if you, for example, get asked in kind of like in a comparative way, something like está haciendo calor en la playa. It's really hot in the beach, and me that I'm living in the city, I can say en la ciudad tambor, in the city as well, en la ciudad también, en la ciudad tambor. Okay, tambor means as well because it sounds like the word también. También means as well. Now, another way to say that it's equal is igual, equal, and therefore you can use another word that sounds similar, which is iguana. Iguana being the iguana, the animal. So you can say, for example, me voy a poner traje esta noche, and you can, that means I'm going to use a tuxedo this evening. So you can reply iguanas ranas, in this case, even to embellish it more. Iguanas meaning igual, meaning me as well. Another one that is very common to say good is the word vientos. Vientos coming from bien. Bien means well, good. So, ¿cómo estás? How are you doing? You can reply vientos. Not because of the wind, but because it sounds like bien, which means good. Now, I have two for a negative reply. One is nil is a very common way to say no. It's a negation. So from nil, you can say Nelson, Nelson being just a name, but you say Nelson as a nil. Now another way to say no is nariz. Nariz, maybe because it starts with an N. I'm not sure what originally make the use of this word, but nariz would be another negation. So let's go quickly over the ones that we just got. So simple or answers for questions of yes and no. We have cámara, which means yes, agree. Camarón, because it sounds like cámara, it's also agree, yes. Sobres, which means on it, yes, agree. Simón sounds like sí, which means yes, so Simón is sí, agree. Cincho, that sounds like sí as well, meaning yes, agree. Cilantro also sounds like sí, agree, yes. Simona la mona, Simona la cacariza, it's all sí, meaning yes. Now, if you want to say how are you doing and you're doing well, you will say vientos. That comes from the word bien. The next one, if you want to, if you ask if you can do something and you agree on that, you reply por su pollo, which means por supuesto, of course, sure, certainly. Then if you are in equal situation with someone when it asks you about something to compare in relative terms, as well would be también. So therefore, the undocumented way to say también is tambor. Tambor. Now, another way to say equal is the word igual. Igual in undocumented Spanish would be iguanas, like an iguana. Then again, the sound is similar. Finally, for negations, the most common word in undocumented Spanish is nel. So you would say nel, meaning no, or Nelson, because it sounds like Nel, that also means no, or nariz, which means nose, but it also means no. All right, so now let's go to one that it's probably also very used. This is words that referred to body parts, okay? So I'm pretty sure that you will use this quite often. The first we have is fachada. La fachada, it's the front, for example, the front of a building, the front of a house. So fachada means the face, la cara. Now, carátula sounds similar to cara, and cara also means face. So fachada, carátula is the face. The next word is maceta. Maceta means a pot for a plant, but we use maceta to refer to the head. Mata is the hair, and mata is also a plant that is very lush. Now, another way to refer to the head is tatema, cesera. Cesera because comes from the word seso, which means brain, so it's the brain container. So maceta, cesera, tatema means head. To refer to mouth, we say bocina. Bocina is actually a horn. Another way to refer to mouth is buchaca. Buchaca starts with a B, like boca, but most importantly, buchacas are the holes in which you have to get the balls in when you play pool. Let's go to the eyes. Biseles. Biseles, fanales. Fanales or faros. Those are the ones that give light, or the headlights of a car. Those are faros. Now let's go to the legs. The legs are called remo. Remo is actually, it's a pedal for example, paddling in a boat or in a kayak. So remo means paddle, means legs. Now up to the feet, we call them pedales. Pedales are pedals basically, so are related to feet, but also pedal sounds like pie. Pie means feet. So let's make a quick review for the words to describe body parts. So for the face, we have fachada and carátula. For the head, we have tatema, cesera, chompeta. For the hair, we have mata. For the mouth, we have bocina and buchaca. For eyes, we have biseles, we have faros, and we have fanales. And for feet, we have pedales, and for leg, we have remos, and an extra that I'm gonna give you, which is las de cabalgar. Las de cabalgar meaning the ones for throttle, like the horses. So it refers like the horse legs, but it refers for the legs. I hope you enjoyed the video, you had fun, and that you learned a little bit as well. I'm looking forward to teach you a little bit more of this undocumented Spanish. Bye bye.